Beach. Hey, how's it going? How you doing tonight? I'm doing just fine, thanks. I'm working on room transitions tonight. It's one thing, I've done a lot of prototyping, and one thing I really haven't done much is just transitioning between rooms. My game, that machine, best to do a little bit more technical work on stream. Direction. First, let's black. Oh, I see. So if I need to do so. But I'm having trouble mixing my stuff because when I turn down the music, you can hear me fine, but then when I watch my playbacks, I can't hear the music at all. It like zeroes it out. Super weird. I'm sure it's fine. Let me know how it sounds right now though. I'll turn it back to normal. Alright, so this is the enter state. This is the exit state. Exit state should start. It is. Should enter the enter state. Okay, so enter should start with black, white, place. You can hear me now? Okay, good, good, good. Good, and then if I step onto it, then dot state dot change, that should be exit state. And in the exit state, black, direction plus 90.2. Okay. Oh, hold on. If state machine dot name equals idle. Only if it's idle, change it to exit state. Okay, that's nice. Then if Hey Zero, how's it going? Good to see ya. How you doing tonight? Uh, this if not xy plus caps maybe? Doing pretty good, thank you. Uh, Dinking around making this game. Oh, find my parentheses. He does a good job walking down. He doesn't really should be minus. It spoke to me a few months back under another account. You wanted to ask, now that you've opened Game Maker and tried out a few tutorials, what's the best way to learn what kind of game you can make? Um, well, that's a good question. I highly recommend. It sounds like you've used a tutorial or two. You want to be realistic about your expectations of making a game. So it's like, think about it like this. Let's say your goal is to build a house, right? And you're looking to hire someone to build your house for you. If you want to make a punch out, let's roll with your example here. If you want to make a punch out style game, I'm sure it's possible. What steps would you take to learn that? There's not a tutorial close to that. Correct. So what you have to do is break it down into its parts and then learn each of those individual parts separately so that you have a proven track record of being able to create those systems. So for instance, what I would do is I would take um, like the game for Punch Out. Um, and to keep it simple, I'm going to say Punch Out NES. And so as part of this, can I can I show YouTube videos on stream? I don't think I can. Maybe I can. Is it like a React? I don't know, but basically, like, I guess I'll just show screenshots. Hold on, give me a second. All right, here's the first thing that I see is like this screen here. So immediately I've got a title screen, and then two options with the menu. So the first thing I would do, I know this sounds super boring, but the first thing I would do is create a room, call it title, being able, and then I would make sure that I'm able to display a title, that I know how to create a menu where you've got a cursor and then you can select one or two options, and then when you push a button, it goes into one option or the second option. That's your first step. That's your first goal, right? You're not going to be thinking about advanced punching mechanics before you can get through here. If you've never made a title screen before, you need to, yeah, you got to take it one step at a time. So learning menus, then how the player might move on a screen facing the player. Yeah, exactly. Like break it down into its simplest forms, and then you gotta kind of make a game out of that. Like it's boring, and you'll get no reward by seeing the long terms. Yeah, exactly. Then how do you go to a new room? And then it's not just a matter of like going into that room. How do you transition into that room? How do you make the screen fade out? And then when you get to the new screen, how do you make the screen fade in? You have to write down a list of all the separate skills you need and then demonstrate those skills in separate games. Like Punch Out's an extremely complicated game to make, especially when you're starting out. In my opinion, that's way overscoped. It's I think it'll be more demotivating than it would be fun um, to see that. So I'm not saying you have to start smaller, but think of um, pretend like you're hiring someone to build a house, and you're looking at this person's resume, and all they've said is, I've watched lots of videos of people building houses, and that's my qualifications. Well, to be honest, you probably wouldn't hire that person to build your house, right? But if you said, I need somebody to build a dollhouse, and they said, what are your requirements? They're like, well, I took wood shop and I nailed a few pieces of wood together, and I know how glue works, and I've used clamps before, and then you might go, okay, well, those are some of the basic skills you need to build a dollhouse. Sure, let's give you a shot. You need to like demonstrate the individual elements and finish them to say I've actually done these things so that you know how to build it together. Does that make sense? I know what will happen to learn the elements, then realize you want to make something else because I got hyped on something and leaned in the process. And that's fine. You know, keep it really simple and make a game out of the smaller pieces. Your first 50 games to 100 games are gonna suck. So you got to get the sucky ones out of the way so when you build the game that you want to make, it doesn't suck so bad. You'll have proven skills behind the games you've already made along the way. Start extremely small, extremely small. There was somebody in the Game Maker community who who actually was on this stream. I don't know if you were there for them, but let me find their game. They they started with something that was a little bit I'm not gonna be able to find their game on itch for whatever reason. But basically, all they and I said all you need to do is create a game with a button that you can push that plays a sound. Like that's your whole game. How can you make an entire game out of something that simple? And at first it was like, oh, that's way too easy. I know I can do that. But in the path of making that game where they're just pushing a button and playing a sound, they learned so much more than they ever thought they would. What's up, Pim? How's it going? Is the Game Maker community the best place? Is the Discord? Yes, in my opinion, because you get real live help, and the people there are fantastic. Why is it? Okay, if not instance position, X, Y minus one to teleport. Not working how I thought it would. If not, place. Huh. Y minus 8. Give me like a half. So odd. Oh yeah, that really looks like he's going in there, doesn't it? A clicker game's a pretty good start. That's where we started personally. Yeah, I mean, everyone needs to start incredibly small. I'm not starting this as a first project. You guys have to realize I've been using GameMaker for 20 years. Um, the stuff that and my issue is I always scope way too big, and as a side consequence of that is I've been making games for 20 years and I've got no real major release, right? I'm always moving on to the next idea because my scope is way too big that I can't hone in and release something that I'm already capable of. I'm just reaching too far all the time. You all do not want to do that. Start really small. Zero. If kind of like um I don't mean it to be sound gatekeeper or anything, but like if you have to ask how to start the game that you want to make, the game that you want to make isn't you're not ready for it yet, right? So um if you're saying I want to make Punch Out but I don't know where to start, well then break it down simply. You got a title screen, you've got battles, you've got a health bar. Have you made a health bar before? If not, make a health bar and then you're done. Your project is complete. Make a health bar. If you've never made a start screen before, make a start screen. That's your entire goal. That way you get the feel goods from creating a title screen. You could say, "Oh yeah, I know how to make a title screen. I've built 4 of those before. No issues." Like like wrap it up and rather than the game being like I want to create Punch Out, it's like the game itself is like I'm going to create a title screen. I'm going to create a health bar. I'm going to create an enemy that can move left and right on the screen, and then when it's in the center of the screen and I push a button, he gets hit. Um, like break it down into its simplest parts and then complete those systems. That's the best way to learn. Um, and those like learning adventure battle systems part 1 out of 57 on YouTube is fun, but it won't help you be a better game maker. I all but promise you. They're very fun and very entertaining, but it's like you could watch all the football in the world, but it won't make you a better athlete, right? You have to do it. You have to put in the work. You can get tips from what you're watching, but if most of your work involves watching and just following along, you're not going to learn the skills that you need to learn. But I do believe everyone can do what they want. Everyone can learn. Um, I also believe that a lot of people learn the wrong way, unfortunately. I don't really have a resource in the way that like I think people need to learn. Um, but I should probably make one because sounds like it would be in demand. Okay. I I have a teleport here. It, okay. Here's the room target. So transition to Problem with leaving. One of my first games. Well, oh boy. I went a really long time without creating anything, and then one of the first games I made, have it. I do. Holy moly, I even have the old. Um, I went a long time without creating anything, and I always blamed it on everything else in my life. Oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I work too much. If if I wasn't working, I would be able to make it. I made a lot of excuses for myself, and I quit my job cold turkey to prove it to myself. I must have been 23, 22. I saved up some money and then I quit. And I said I'm just going to be a full-time dev, and I hadn't made a game up to that point. I believed in myself so ignorantly that that's the path I took, and I took a year off and got nowhere close. I just kept doing the same things, and I humbled myself real hard. I don't recommend doing that, but I called my own bluff. And after I went back to work, I didn't do dev for about a year because you know, I was defeated. I defeated myself with it, but I came back to it and I said, you know what? I'm gonna start small. I'm gonna create a painfully simple game, and it's gonna be done in 2 days. Um, it's kind of like a game jam I did with myself, and that's how I made this, which is called Sleepy Bear. And it's meant for touch, so it's meant for thumb left and thumb right. So this is all it was. It was just rotating pictures with a little bit of juice, and all you do is bounce these little guys across the screen. It's a wonderful first project because it doesn't require too much. Mechanics are simple. It's got a little bit of juice. I got a little bit of personality on there. And this is literally the entire thing. Um, that's it. I just want to prove to myself once and for all that like I can create a game. And that's what this is. This is Sleepy Bear. So this was what I considered the first thing I ever released. Um, and I know it sucks, and I know it's supposed to suck. But I feel really proud with knowing that like it's it's done, and it's in the open, and you can play it, and it is what it is. If you let them fall, you get a little X. If you get three X's, the bear wakes up from all the noise, opens up, flies off screen, and goes into the restart. That's it. Super simple, right? There's a win condition, a lose condition, a high score, um, and it's not hard, right? So it's just super something really simple. Something like Sleepy Bear might be a good first project, right? Basic collision, basic movement, scorekeeping, a win condition, a lose condition, and a title screen. Like, you really can't get any more basic than that. Um, After that, I made a game. Dunk here. Yeah, Cookie Dunk. I've played this on stream, so stop me when I have. This is another one of those games that I was like, I just need to create something. Sleepy Bear, I felt really good about Sleepy Bear, even though it's not a dream game and it's not a game I envisioned making when I was a kid, and it's not a game that's going to make me rich or even $1, but it's a game that I know I can complete. So I want to create another one, but with Cookie Dunk, um, let me pause this music here. With Cookie Dunk, I wanted to something with a little bit more of my personality. And I said the goal of the game is to dunk a cookie. That when you dunk the cookie, you win. If you don't dunk the cookie, you get to try again. And that's the entire game. So this is Cookie Dunk here. So when you click on the screen, now this sounds pretty low, but you can hear me shouting at the screen, try to dunk the cookie. You didn't dunk the cookie, try again. And it's just a weird game with with my big cheesy voice narrating what's going on. You dunk the cookie. That's it. And it's just it's fun to play and it's and you get these weird voice lines and that's the entire game. Now, because Cookie Dunk is charming, because it made people laugh, um, this kind of became a small viral hit in the Game Maker Discord. People have referenced Cookie Dunk. It's an emote, I think, in the Game Maker server actually still. If you go underneath the stickers, you'll see a Cookie Dunk emote. It's been ported to Nintendo 3DS. It's been ported to all consoles, mobile, touch, Pico 8. Like, there's been so many Cookie Dunk references and ports. I think this is the most ported Game Maker game of all time, to be honest with you. Um, and then people started donating. They were like, "Hey, I thought this was really fun, so I want to give you some money. 20 bucks here, 20 bucks there, 50 bucks here." Of just people just, "Hey, thanks for the experience. That was a lot of fun." So this was the first time and that's was the whole game of what you saw. But because I learned through this one, it's like I need to lean into my personality more when I make these games, and that was a lesson that I learned. So it's not so much just about wrestling game maker and more about like the production of games and how to present it and really how to put your own signature style on it. Um, so I made a lot of these really small comedic games, and it really got my confidence up with like, oh, here's how to package a game, here's how to put it on itch, here's how to pitch it, here's how to make thumbnails, here's how to structure the about section, here's how to tag it. Like those are all as equally valuable as like knowing the GML that makes the cookie go into the glass. Um, so that was really valuable for me. Sorry, I'm going on crazy tangents, but um, those were the games I think that kind of defined my aha moment. Was like the games I was building up until that point were these big sprawling like fighting games and card games and stuff that I really wasn't ready for. And it wasn't until I made those tiny games that I learned what it was about. And I encourage everybody to make extremely small games. Like if you can't complete the main game loop in a 24-hour time period, not 24 hours of game development, 24-hour time period, create a win condition, create a lose condition, like you're not ready to complete the game, in my own personal opinion. Everyone should be making games, and everyone should be making tiny games, and everyone should stop scoping their games so large. So I think I can remove the text piece. Oh, I don't have my little dude. Where's my sleepy dad avatar? Okay, we're set. Makes me feel like I'm actually in the room with y'all when I got the avatar up. Um, sign of Ash. That should be us, maybe? Yeah. So that actually feels really good going through the doors. Probably speed it up a little bit. Walking in speed. Why don't we do mash lit. I kind of like him walking slow. Let's do 2-5. I dig it. I leave. Actually, that's probably fine. Okay. See, I've never done these before. The transitions are cool. So like I've changed rooms before, but I've never like had the character like walk in and out of it that way. Is like sprite fading in and sprite fading out. That's pretty cool. What I did earlier today is when you're offset from like the tile a little bit, like up the edge of this fence, do you see how like he slides off the edge? And that's just like a quality of life thing for some of these. And those old Zelda games, I get caught on corners a lot, so this helps me kind of like slide off. You don't notice it all the time, but when it cuts close, you'll be able to feel it. Alright, good night, him. Thanks for always popping in, even just for a little bit. It means a lot. Always happy to see a familiar face, so have a nice night. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry, I'm just going in and out. Might not make for compelling content, but I obsess over these details, and I think actually just what I want it to do. So let's see if this is easy. As part of my, let's do a cave interior. So I have here. Cave. Actually, everything except for actually I could keep some of the pots too. No, I don't want to keep the pots. I lied. I'll just have this. So this is for the cave. I have somewhere. Art, pixel art. Drop down. Tiles. Let's pick these up too. I like those. 8. Okay. Perfect. So we will take this one. Cave tile. I have so many of these sprites. I really, this is just meant to be an asset pack. Like, it isn't for this to be an actual game. I just want to it as an asset pack, but little interior. Ram Cave. Cave. A tile set. We need to reference a sprite, which is the cave. 16 times 16 is good. This tile layer, everything. By holding right click, go to the collision layer and delete everything. Our hero here. Want to set cave as well as this tile layer. We want it to be cave. So back to the collision layer and build out our room here. There we go. Now for the floor, regular tile layer. Cave floor. Pretty busy, but I'm gonna roll with it for a moment. This, we're going to have the target as room 1. Go back to oh, whoops. Did I crash? Am I back up now? Let me know if I'm back. I guess I can see myself here. Oh yeah, maybe I crashed. I'm back now. Odd. I'm rolling with it. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. Cool. Back up here. Save. Okay. Except I leave out the wrong one. Okay, so we need to have this like the point of a name, right? So this can be teleport 1. I've never used these names before, so this will be a learning experience for everybody. To actually name these instances. The ambitious first game you want to make. Everyone's want to make an ambitious first game. It looks very similar to yours. The cave looks similar. The purple cave. Alright, so this is instant teleport 1. This is instant teleport 2. So what if that name from another room? Same color and size too. Well, maybe we get to live your dream a little bit here. Actually, why don't we do this? We'll do target, and then we will have each. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, hold on. Teleport. Each one will have a room target, and then a teleport ID. Right? Okay, so then this teleport ID will be 0. This teleport ID will be um cave. Didn't something? Oh, the hero did transition to that room target. Direction equals image angle. Oh, that's all I needed. Okay. Yeah, so I don't even need all that. I will. This isn't a necessary. Right now we're doing functional. We're not doing pretty, right? Room target. Teleport ID equals 0. Yeah, I hate this. Okay, so now we have a transition out controller. Is I don't know how my own code works. It's been too. Ever? Doesn't. Like automatically appears. So does that mean I need to have one in a room? Like let's put it in this cave. The house. The house has it too, no? I guess there's one way to see. So like, yeah. So that's there's definitely. Problem is when I first go into the room of like a sort of controller. So like it for that tele. Two. Oh, created room go to. Text XY yes. Okay, so it says yes just as it's leaving, and then it disappeared. How does the transition out controller get destroyed? Left in the room. Okay, so what do we do? Mobile out controller gets fed a room target and a teleport ID. It also has a teleport ID in here. So why don't we make this person, and then on room start, we say yes. Weird. What does it say it's not? Let's actually camera, but there's clearly a camera. So let's keep this in here anyways though, but let's do okay. So we need guy to spawn. So dot teleport ID equals. Let's roll with this for a moment. Teleport ID. Now in the hero created, global dot teleport ID doesn't equal. So teleport teleport ID dot x equals x plus 8 dot y equals bottom box top plus 8 and break. Okay, so scatterbrained right now. Happens a lot. Alright, teleport ID equals 0, teleport ID equals 1. That means in the little interior. Go. Global teleport ID is -1. Now it's -1. So when I transition, this, I don't want to reset it back to -1. So it's still 1. If I go through here, it should be 0 and stay 0. So when I create what I don't want to do on create, I want to do at the top. Yeah. Just it has a room and a position ID. I need to have like a transition controller though to control all that stuff. Also with the camera. It to, yeah. Honestly, pretty boring, like, things in terms of development. Nobody should be excited about this. They shouldn't even notice it, right? That's how you know it's doing it well. Good, I mean, so now we can get rid of our little bug. Goals for tomorrow. I'm tired. Let's see what we did. Sensor object room, press interact. Player positioning, we did that. Water overlay, water detection, we didn't do charge. Tomorrow we're going to have a that controls spawn position. Press to interact. You know what? Because it was, I already started it earlier today, and I'd like to finish it. Was what's up, Apple Boy? How you doing? I'm gonna have to remake it, I think. Not an organized person. Alright, so I have this like long grass. Desktop, projects, assets, top down. Ah, here it is. Yeah. Kind. I'm glad you're doing good. Thanks for the comments in the videos. I like responding to those. Big brush. Okay, so I have like a little there. Walk on it. So that's fine. I don't care breaking. Is that gonna be good enough? Maybe this should be lights layer? That looks good or not. Let's try this out. SPR grass overlay. GIF. Okay. Alright. That looks. I don't think that affects is correct. I mean, it looks like something. It just doesn't look right. I think it needs to be actually a different color than the grass tiles entirely. I also need to move it down. Or up too, I mean. That looks alright, right? Look like I'm walking in tall grass, huh? When I'm in the tall grass only. Like I'm hunting Pokemon. Have to play with this. Maybe actually if I lighten it, might need to make it a lot thicker too. So but it definitely looks like a different like color. I'll have to play with it. I kind of like it though. A little oversimplified, but what it is. Now that we have room transitions, we can start building out other rooms pretty easily. Bow and arrow, let's go fight some people and then we'll call it a night. Oh, I removed the slimes. There's no one to fight. Womp. I'm actually gonna make the transition to black slower. Half as fast. Oh wait, maybe I meant. Okay, so we did grass overlay. I'm gonna take credit for that because I need that hit of dopamine. I'll go ahead and put it up here with the water overlay. That way I know it's kind of. Actually, no. I'm gonna put it with like a long grass thing. There should be tile detection for unique tile properties. So like long grass or water. Okay, cool. Now we have a good idea of what we're gonna get through tomorrow. So thanks everybody for watching. Much appreciated. Stop in, say hi, like, comment.